On today's episode of First Cup, we're going to do our Friday jokes that Frank always sends in. We're going to talk about nonprofits and martial arts, tying up some of the things we talked about the last couple days. And I'm going to give you some behind the scenes, a little bit about what's going on with some events that we have planned. So stick around. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday. Woo! It is August 6th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I want to welcome everyone who may be joining on Twitter/Periscope today, because we added that as a destination for this show. This is one of the cool things about StreamYard, the software we're using, is that we can throw it in a bunch of different places. If there were more places, we'd put it there. It won't do Instagram. That one's a bummer. That's okay. I did not sleep well. Hope you all did. I was talking to a friend up until about 9:30, and we were just got all riled up in conversation and laid down and just between that, I had the dishwasher going, and usually that doesn't bother me, but I think it did last night, so that was unfun. Coffee was hot. How was your Thursday? Did you check out episode 627? What is on my hands? What is on my coffee cup? Probably apples. That's pretty much the whole house is just covered with apple juice at this point. That's all I do is I cook applesauce. I hope you had a good Thursday. I hope you checked out that Q&A episode. Andrew's already putting together stuff for the next one. Actually, Andrew and I had a production meeting yesterday, and we talked about really the next few months of episodes, and we laid some out. We've got some really exciting topics coming. We've got some great guests coming. We talked about other great guests that we're trying to get. It's a lot of work. And I have to say, having Andrew as part of the team just makes everything so much easier. I said the same thing with, I'm going to do this all morning. I said the same thing when Leslie was on the team. Having somebody else just to work with. If you've never worked alone on something, I mean truly alone, you may not know how difficult it can be just energetically, there's nobody to let down but yourself. And it's easy to just kind of, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that. Good morning, Stacy. Stacy's in the chat. For those of you in the chat, I hope you comment. Let me know you're here. The show's so much more fun for everybody, especially me, when I get to interact. I tried to combine interact and engage. Intergage, to try to intergage with all of you. Now, I did promise, I think we'll start with this. So we're going to do some jokes, and we're going to talk about nonprofits. The last couple of days, Jerry Cooney, Frank gave us some quotes from Jerry Cooney, who actually started a nonprofit for boxers. And he dropped a bunch of information, and I'm not going to read it. I'll read a little bit of it. But what I want to talk about, rather, is nonprofits. And I think the place that nonprofits have in the martial arts, we have not started one. Good morning, John. But I've got some ideas on some things. And we're not there. We're not big enough, because the idea is we would carve off some of our resources to run and fund this nonprofit. We're just not there. I had another order come in last night, too. Somebody ordered a set of gear and a hat. Woo! We're doing all right lately. And by all right, I mean 3 orders in 3 days. Behind the scenes. Okay. So Stacy says profits first. Yeah, it's hard to start a nonprofit when there's no profit. I don't think negative profit is a type of organization. So Andrew and I were talking about events, and there are a few things that we've got brewing. There's one that he and I have been working on a little bit, and actually going to work with somebody else on it as well. But then we were talking about free training day and some of the things. I've started to put together some instructors. A few people reached out. I've reached out to a few people. If you think you're supposed to be on that list or expecting to be invited and you didn't get an invite, that please don't be offended. My biggest fear on this event is that it's gotten to the point, it's gotten big enough that we won't be able to accommodate all the people who want to teach. And I've watched what that's done at other events. Now, here's the thing. If you wouldn't come unless you were teaching, you're probably not right for the event. This is a no ego event, not a low ego event. It's a no ego event. Okay. One of the things we are going to do, we're going to shorten our sessions from 50 to 45 minutes. And across the span of the whole day, that gives us one extra session we can plug in. So that gives us 2 more instructors to accommodate, 2 more choices for attendees. And if you're watching this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, free training day, the best place to go is the Whistlekick Facebook page. We've got an event going for that. Yesterday I invited all of the celebrities, martial arts celebrities that I'm Facebook friends with. We'll see. I doubt any of them will show because most of them are on the West Coast, but fingers crossed. But check out that event. It's pretty exceptional. So we talked about that. And then we talked about a potential event for spring, probably April of 2022. We will dial in the details on whether or not it's happening, probably in the next 30 days, and start letting people know. But I had a Zoom meeting with somebody who runs a venue. And we talked about it. And we talked about the expenses. And we talked about some plans. And I think it'll work. I think we can make this work. I'm pretty pumped. It's something that I tried to do 5 years ago. By that time, it'll be 6 years ago. Actually, 6 years ago to the month. So we'll get it done. And once there's more details, I'll let all of you know about it. Stacy's in the chat and she says, free training day is awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it is a great time. It is the most fun day of the year. Now, here's the other event. This one's already going to happen, whether we do anything about it or not, because it's not our thing. We are going to show up to Rhode Island Comic-Con. Why? Because if you check the people who are going to Comic-Con, I think more of them have been in martial arts movies than have been in, comic-related movies. It's kind of cool. Shout out to Craig Wareham, who suggested that we go. Like Andrew and I, we already have our press passes. They've already accepted us. And so we just need to figure out the plan and what we're going to do. And that is actually the weekend before free training day. The reason we had to wait to announce this was depending on what my home situation was. It's been a week. What my home situation was, I wasn't going to be able to go because it was going to be a multi-day, overnight kind of a thing. And so let's talk about that for a minute, because I'm able to, I may have to take a hard left and get out of the subject, but this has been one of the hardest weeks of my life. It has been absolutely brutal. And one of the things that has made it brutal is that the people that I know personally, that live nearby, that claim to be my great friends, the people that I help out, that I am always supportive of, even those that I reached out to asking for help, most of them were no-shows. You know who showed up for me? People from this community. I've received so many calls and emails and messages from people who have never met me. People who went so far above and beyond what my friends did this week that it blows my mind. And it makes me even more excited to put together these events, because I get the opportunity to actually see you guys, to shake hands, to train, to hug, to say thank you. And that means a great deal. So I appreciate it. All right. Let's take a look at the jokes. Oh, what about this weekend? Work in the yard, friend's birthday party. Today I'll be at the co-working space, hanging out with some friends tonight. There's some social going on, which is nice. I'm looking forward to it. What's going on? Here we are. No, not that one. This one? Nope, not there, because Facebook's being dumb and not showing all of Frank's jokes. Or any of them. No. Here we go. The jokes for Fun Day Friday, courtesy of Frank. Thank you, as always, to Frank. And if anybody else has jokes they want to throw in, jokes don't have to just be a Frank thing. He is willing to share. He does do a great job, though. It makes it kind of hard to want to step in. August is International Pirate Month. Before I do the jokes, I got a notification. For those of you who know me well, you know I'm always dabbling. There are always things. I had this idea for a pirate-themed, like truly pirate-themed cruise. And we built the website. It's all out there. And the hope was it would kind of go viral and we'd get people to sign up and then I could get some investors. It never took off. PirateCruiseAdventures.com. PirateCruiseAdventure.com. Check it out. It would be so much fun. Really, I just want to do this myself. But it doesn't seem like other people really want to get into this. People don't want to do anything anymore. It bums me out. Nobody ever got to the end of their life and said, man, I'm glad I sat on the couch the whole time. These are the best pirate jokes I've ever heard. What is a pirate's favorite doll? Barbie. Why don't pirates go to strip clubs? Because they already have all the booty. Why did the pirate buy an eye patch? Because he couldn't afford an iPad. What's a pirate's favorite fish dish? Pieces of skate. This one. Oh my God. This is one of the best jokes I've read in a long time. 3.14% of sailors are pirates. It's amazing. Pirates. Stacy wants me to talk like a pirate. I'll do that limited. What's a pirate's favorite part of a song? The hook. Who gets all their movies for free? Pirates. Why do pirates bury their treasure 18 inches under the ground? Because booty is only shin deep. What do you call a pirate who steals from the rich and gives to the poor? Robin Hood. What do you call a stupid pirate? The pillage idiot. Why couldn't the pirates play cards? Because the captain was standing on the deck. These are awesome. I doubt anyone enjoys these jokes more than I do. There we go. Okay, here we go. Where'd it go? Here we go. How do pirates like to cook their steaks? On a barbecue. What happens if you take the P out of a pirate? He becomes irate. Like 3 more. What do you call a pirate with 3 eyes? Pirate. 3 eyes on the word pirate. It's more of a visual joke. Why does it take pirates so long to learn the alphabet? Because they can spend years at sea. How did the pirate find out he needed glasses? He took an eye exam. 2 more. What's a pirate's favorite type of music? Rum and bass. This one. How do pirates know they exist? They think, therefore they are. Frank, you've outdone yourself today. Thank you, my friend. Where else do you get this? You don't get this anywhere else. I will maintain this is the most ridiculous premise for a show ever, and I'm so happy that we do it. Coffee's okay. It's pretty good. Not the best it's been. I don't know why. It's all the same as yesterday. How often do you wash your coffee cup? I rinse it out through the week, and then I wash it over the weekend. Just curious. All right. So the last couple of days we talked about Jerry Cooney, a famous pro boxer, retired in the 80s, if I'm remembering correctly. And yesterday, I think it was, I mentioned I really didn't know anything about him. So Frank gave us a bunch of information. But the part that I want to talk about here, or I'll read this. Among Jerry Cooney's many accomplishments is that he is the founder of FIST Fighters Initiative for Support and Training. Here's a portion of a May 2003 article from Philanthropy News Digest. The mission is to provide treatment, counseling, and career path assistance to fighters in New York and New Jersey who lack the resources needed for a successful transition after prize fighting. And we had at least one of the quotes talking about that. This idea that many boxers stay in the ring too long because they're addicted to the sound of the crowd or they don't have another career path. All right, and I'll read this part. Many fighters never earn more than $100 per round, and only a handful finish their careers with enough money in the bank to live on. Because most boxers don't plan for the future after the ring, many continue to fight past their prime and suffer injuries. FIST helps boxers transition from fighting to a new life through a personal step-by-step approach. Now, this is the type of stuff that we, in the martial arts more broadly, I think need to be aware of. We need to consider. We look at the careers of so many people. One of the things that has bothered me, and this actually changed last night, and I'm super excited. One of the things that's bothered me, good morning, Ethan, is that the best martial artists in the world, the best competitors, most of them don't make a living from their competition, even including sponsorship. Most of them have something else that they do. That's weird. Show me another sport that has so many participants and so many people paying attention to it, where the best of the best can't exist on their competitive winnings. It's weird, right? Best boxers can. And I guess boxing as part of martial arts, I'm thinking karate, taekwondo, and actually maybe taekwondo can. I don't know. But there's very little opportunity to make money training, and we've got plenty of ways we're trying to change that. Actually, one of the events that I mentioned, not the April one, but the other one that we're working on, is our first foray into trying to make that happen. But when we're talking about something like boxing or MMA, where people are getting the tar beat out of them, where it's really hard to work a full-time job and train adequately to be a top-level competitor, kind of stinks. Now, I am far from a fan of Conor McGregor. I think he's kind of a dirtbag. Kind of. I think he's a dirtbag. The things he says and does. Wouldn't have him at my dinner table. Let's just put it that way. But if you know his story, you know that early on, he was scraping by because all of his time and money went into training. I don't know other stories as well, so I'm not going to quote from people I like better. But that's often the case, isn't it? Mike Tyson's story. I mean, he was scraping by. Oh, Frank's here. Frank, I loved the jokes. Thank you. The 3.14, the pie joke was my favorite. I think we're going to see some transitions in the martial arts world, and hopefully, we are pushing some of these things forward as an organization. But I read something online yesterday that Karate Combat has signed a number of the karate fighters from the Olympics to six-figure contracts. Amazing. That's great. But How often do you get punched in the face to make $100,000? I'm assuming over the course of a year, right? We just heard that number, $100 a round for most boxers. Yikes. It's like saying, okay, I will punch you in the face for $20. No, no. How many times are you eating up a punch in the face in a round? More than a couple. Ugh. I'm not having it. So what I wanted to say around nonprofits. We exist in this weird time with nonprofits because so many of them have been just blasted with scandal. And more people are aware of the tendency of nonprofits to exist solely to funnel money to certain people at the top. That doesn't mean all nonprofits are bad, and that doesn't mean nonprofits shouldn't exist. And I hope that you'll take a look at some of the nonprofits that we have. And there are two that I know of in the martial arts space that I think highly of. One is Kids Kicking Cancer. And if you go back, I believe it was in the first 100 episodes, Rabbi G, who was the founder of that organization, was on Martial Arts Radio. And we had a wonderful conversation. And it was one where I had to mute the microphone multiple times because I was crying from the stories he was telling. Absolutely powerful episode. And the other one, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris has an organization. I believe it's limited to Texas, and it's around martial arts for youth. Check those organizations out. And if you see, actually, wait, there's a third one. Jason lives in Vermont, and he's been on the show. It's an adaptive martial arts organization, and that one is smaller, but getting going because I love the fact that martial arts is so inclusive. And I just hope that as time moves forward, that we're more willing to create and fund nonprofits to assist people in the arts. Whether that's a competitive scholarship fund, a needs-based scholarship fund, I don't know, fund, nonprofit to exchange program to send martial artists to some other country and bring some of them here. I don't know. I don't know what we need. I have ideas. Those are the ones off the top of my head. You guys are quiet this morning. Other than Stacy. Stacy's not been quiet. I could go back to bed. I won't. I got to cut my hair. Anytime you can tell where the hairline is, that's really where I draw the line. Ha! I'm going to cut my hair. Kind of just want to sit on the couch. But it's not where the stories are. So I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you on Monday. Hope you leave me some comments or some questions. Hope you'll join me live. If somebody did come in on Twitter/Periscope this morning, thanks. Stacy's trying to be connected to good stuff. Good. I appreciate all of you. I really do. I know I said that before, but I really do appreciate all of you. The tough part is that you wake up and you're kind of vulnerable, right? Like you're not fully awake, no coffee yet. And this is the time where I'm most aware of her absence. Where would she be right now? She'd be, you all saw her. She'd be on my lap or here. She'd be annoying. Or she'd be sitting right there wanting more food, even though she had food. I'd wake up to her, face right here. Now she's gone. That's tough. And so I say all that not to bring this down, but for two reasons. One, just to reiterate, thank you for all of your support. And secondly, appreciate the people, the animals, the things in your life that you love. Make sure they know that they're loved. Hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care, everybody. Peace.